Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon or good morning, colleagues, so where you are. My name is Marco Yamaguchi. I'm a manager for the transport and the logistic division at the bank. So I have 10 minutes to speak about the good sustainability by showcasing what we are doing so far. We are still a learning curve, so we are still doing a lot, as a pilot. But let me share my screen here. How can I?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Hold on a second. Screen share. Okay. How about now?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you.
Okay. So the Africa is vulnerable to the many climate change issue, and compared to the other the part of the globe, in my experience, the natural disaster is a big issue for Africa. So within climate change issue between the mitigation and adaptation, I see that the big feature in Africa is more like adaptation space. Meaning that we need to consider development, how to develop the climate, the resilient infrastructure to develop. As you can see here, there are a lot of the issues happening all day long, everywhere in Africa, such as extreme heating, the coastal erosion, the flooding, the hurricane, the wildfire, et cetera, et cetera. Let me share one of the the interesting the video that we developed that showcase how we are working towards the data climate change.
Dosaf, I believe Marco is trying to show a video. If you can assist, thank you.
I will show it. I will
Okay.
show it from my end.
Okay.
Oh, it's not showing?
Okay.
Okay.
Because of the erratic changes
shall I
in
stop
the
from my
climatic
side?
conditions, most ports in West Africa have experienced flooding. Ours is peculiar in the sense that it's in an estuary, and we're more prone to climate risks when it comes to sea level rise and increased sedimentation and precipitation. And these are all things that makes the collaboration with GCIP very important so that we can mitigate some of these climate hazards.
Flooding will impact the port equipment, the cargo, and the workers. The port is the economic lifeline of the country. About 80% of cargo coming and going out of the country passes through the port. And this is the only port we have.
The Gambia is below the sea level, especially along the coast, Banjul in particular. And all predictions are that if care is not taken, the Gambia, especially the capital Banjul, will sink in the next 50 years.
And when the port floods, it disrupts the operations. Sometimes we have to stop to allow the water to recede.
the African Development Bank, working with the GCA, created the program called the African Adaptation Acceleration Program, AAP, provided financing support to make the old infrastructure project in Africa more climate resilient. They're giving the support with the GCA to assess how the their infrastructure to make it more climate resilient against the sea level rising or the flood protection, to protect the local community living in the coastal area.
Well, one of the main areas that is also exposed to the sea level rise is the road artery that links the port of Banjul to the distribution areas. There's a project that has already been developed to raise the level of the road and increase the width, and also do some sea defense in terms of reinforcement with the revetment to ensure that the structures are raised to a height that they will be able to withstand the effects of flooding. On the marine side, what is envisaged is the extension of a jetty, an existing jetty, by 345 meters. 15% of the estimated cost has to be added to as a mitigation measure to ensure that the structures will withstand any climate hazards that are already identified. Now the scope is to uproot the current pavement, raise it to a level of 1.4 meters with proper drainage and water outflow, so that the terminal should be able to also withstand the effects of flooding.
And that makes me optimistic about the future, because that will address most of the challenges that, in terms of environment, that we anticipate, which can have a devastating impact on the port.
By and large, we're hopeful as a country that with the right investment in the infrastructure that are also climate resilient, the country should be able to achieve the growth forecast that are expected.
Okay, thank you very much. So let me go back to my presentation. So this is the example that we are working on, our mainstreaming, our work on the climate into our the financing activity. Okay. This is a part I mentioned even during the video that can you see my screen?
Marco, kindly put it in the slideshow. Thank you. Click on that one. Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So this was the example, one of the example that we are working on, a particular project as Port of Banjul in the Gambia. The colleague from the Gambia, the government side said, that we really want to, consider, the climate, the risk assessment as a part of our the activity. So I thought that this is a good example that that I share with you guys. This was a part of our activity called the Africa Adaptation, the acceleration, the AAP, the program with the Global Center on Adaptation, which is our strategic partner. And so we have what I want to say that going forward, I just introduced that what we are doing as a program, but the whole point is the today's topic about the success, the secret for the good sustainability to develop the climate resilience infrastructure. I can think of the 8. The point number 1 is the capacity, people's or the skill set or the capacity. Number 2 is the innovative technology to address to the such a climate damage. Number 3 is the private sector engagement for the for the feasibility and the sustainability. Number 4 is the risk assessment, for the meaning like a de-risk, for the private sector to come in. Number 5, the quality project. And the number 6 is financing, particularly concessional financing. That is a key for the development climate the project. And number 7, the large stakeholders engagement, as many as possible, to make a big pie for the sustainability. So these are, and then finally, yes, I should have said first that the policy, enable environment development. That is also very, very important. And we, as a policy bank, we also take that role. So these are 8 the very important, combination of all to make the key for the successful the development, the sustainability. So here is different examples. The one is this is ongoing, but it's announced at the COP27 last year by the president, and also we are planning to sign MOU in 2 days' time. I think in the COP28. It's the AGIA Alliance for the Green Infrastructure Alliance. So we in Africa. So this is the project preparation facility and in the project development facility, and then the partially the funding facility, aiming for to raise 500 million. But the important thing is that, again, this is the facility to develop the quality project, working with Africa 50, African Union, and then we are having the more and more the donors and then the partners to it. And then next one, oops. Okay, so this is that within our department, we do have the one of the trust fund called the UMDF, Urban Municipal Development Fund. This is purely focused on the city development. So this is more like both mitigation and such as energy efficiency, the low carbon transport, and the adaptation, climate resilience infrastructure, particularly focused on the cities. So this is we are using a lot for the enable the market development with the cities and then the urban municipality, the subnational government and the project preparation. So this is the UMDF that we are using a lot, and then this is the partner with the Green Climate Fund. We are currently under development as a joint facility called the Green Mobility Facility for Africa to promote the low carbon the mobility across the continent. I've been working for almost 3 years already. It takes a long time, but finally we are targeting at the B38. The next year's the maybe second board of the GCF. And also we start the processing internally. Again, this is going to be the joint facility. We are aiming at about 600 million facility with the GCF. To arrange the concessional funding, also some grant facility for the study and then the dissemination, and then the targeting at the 6th country for now. And then again to promote, we have a different 2-3 wheelers, electric the mobility. And also the 4-wheeler, some e-bus project in some countries. And this is focusing on the mobility side. And the next one is also we are just recently probably it's not official, but we are going to get hopefully the board approval very soon. This was nominated as 2024. The strategic, the special initiative. We call it the Sustainable Road Maintenance Program for Africa. The ideas came from that, the bank, continue, the World Bank continue, the investing in road development, but we didn't, we didn't use a lot of, effort to the maintenance on an operation side, which is also the big cost for our regional member countries. And also the road condition is very, very vulnerable to the climate damage. And depending on the region, if you look at West Africa and extreme heat, if you look at the south and the east, a lot of flooding, and in the south and the hurricane and the cyclone, so depending on the area, there's a different type of climate, the issues. And then that's the cause of the jeopardizing of the road quality. So we are come up with working with a different partner like a global the infrastructure hub or the GGGI, etc. We are already starting identifying the unique technology. We call it infratech. To address these type of the climate damage, the damage by climate, but the climate damage, we identify the different technology to address, so to reduce the damage, and then to which we invest. So this program is very innovative in terms of the identification of the technology infratech and to invest, and also we are supporting we are trying to develop the unique business plan. The sustainable financing model, unique to our selected target country, such as PPP, so that we can help our regional member country to reduce their financial burden, to maintain the road. So this is going to be, I think, this is very, very the game changer for the road sector, which is actually a big cause of the CO2 emission. Every country. So this is, and I expect that this is going to be very, very, the big changer. And then next, in shipping industry or the port industry, we are also developing especially the facility called the Green Shipping and Port Initiative. And then initially for the phase 1, we are focusing on Western Central Africa. We are working with we plan to work with the CIF. The Clean Investment Fund and the World Bank Group. They soon developed the industry decarbonization program, and then so we would love to work with them and then to address the port or the shipping industry to make it green. We would like to develop the kind of the standardization activity by introducing the certificate, and in order to get such a green certificate of the port or the shipping, we would we are going to finance to it. So this is in a combination of the technical assistance and the financing activity to make the shipping industry more green. So this is one example, and in the rail sector. We are working with the UIC. This is the rail the association, the International Rail Association. We are working with them, and then we are moving the industry from the modal shift from the road to rail. This is more like a mitigation side. But this is also we want to make the transport industry to make the more greener. So we are working from the early stage activity, and then to this is more like enable environment. But obviously we are also the due to finance to finance more railway project going forward. So that is another. There are several the donors, the several countries, European countries, who are already interested in supporting this the initiative. And then this is the rail sector and aviation sector also. We are launching the another initiative. We call it the Green Airport and Green Aviation Initiative for Africa. So it's the same as the railway. But we look at the both asset side, which is airport, and also the superstructure, which is aviation space, both to make them the greener. Same as the railway sector, we want to use the some standardization to the kind of certificate to achieve, and we want to help the airports and mainly airports. To make it, for them to get the green certificate for the airport, and in order to do that, we offer the some the assessment to assess the current situation of the airport, and then identify where is a possible area for the for make it more green, such as the boiler, the renewable energy, solar power, the electric buses, etc., etc. I know there are the different area for them to make it green. So we identify, we help them to assess these the areas, and then and after that we want to help them finance to it, and by making the most of the climate facility available, internal facility and an external facility. Another, the aviation space is, the hot topic is, SAF, the sustainable aviation fuel. That is still the long way to go, but we are the planning to working with several government to do to start the piloting, this the SAF, the program, and then for the future, and then in going forward, that we also want to, to change, the nature of the fuel to make to more, the sustainable. So that is the aviation space. And then these are the project level activity, the program. And then I mentioned before that at the beginning, the one of the important thing for the sustainability is, the people capacity. So that's also, we already are working on that. And the good example that I wanted to share with you is that working with the GCA, we already the rolling out this training, the program, both for the internal the bank staff and also the external the stakeholders, particularly with the government official. We call it the Climate Resilience Infrastructure PPP in Africa Masterclass. So we did for the PQ staff and then a bank-wide staff. We did this session for the I think in the last May. We had a very large the attendance that achieved, and then the aim was to build the capacity or the knowledge how to to make the infrastructure project more the climate resilient, and also the more like PPP basis, so that we can consider the such activity more in a sustainable way. So we did already internal. We continue doing so internal one as well. But there are many the demand and interest from the external party, particularly government officials. So we are continue already. We did in Ghana and in other countries. So we continue doing so from next year. And then several donors already are interested in supporting us for this activity. So we accelerate that the activity training activity for next year as well. The last three, as I mentioned before, that in one of the key the ingredient for the sustainability is stakeholders engagement. So in order to do that, I call it here the partnership. This is very important. So every occasion we have, we try to disseminate our our seriousness and our commitment to the audience, both the public and private sector, so that we can have a big pie, so that we can to make sure that the good sustainability is going forward. Just some of the example I mentioned here. In the month of September, we participated in Africa's the Climate Week or the Climate Summit in Nairobi. It's a the COP event, and where we had the side event on a sustainable green transport initiative in Africa. That was very successful event, and then there are so many the audience that participated in the event. And from tomorrow, in fact, I just arrived to the Dubai and to participate in the COP. So for the COP, as a PQ, we are preparing the two side events. The one is the smart logistics into the green supply chain in Africa. I just saw that the video, the coffee break video. That was exactly that that we are going to introduce at this side event. But by inviting the Minister Magala from the Mozambique, this side event is talk about how we can reduce the bottleneck of the trade inefficiency by developing a smart technology in a border and in a corridor. So once the border process, exactly that one we want to the showcase or the highlight the importance of it. And in the PQ, and we are very interested in investing, in fact, in one-stop border post. So this is one of the events that we are doing during the COP. And then the second event is on the right-hand side, that we are featuring the promotion of the inland water transport. Here I said the river transport in Africa. As you know that there are the many the big rivers and the lakes in Africa, which is actually the under the use, the method of the transport, which is very common in other parts of the world, like Latin America and the Amazon River, and then Asia, and in China there are so many the water transport is using as a source of the transport, and that is actually the one of the hidden the green transport. So we want to deep dive how we can promote the river or the inland water transport in Africa. So that is also now we are preparing for it, and then this is just example that this is how that we always to gain the more supporter to our activity, and then for the good sustainability. So we continue be active in the raising our voice every occasion this type of the event, the climate event, etc. And then we continue doing so. That is our commitment. Okay, so thank you very much. I stop here. Thank you for listening.